If you would like to see how these fun pages come together in this YouTube collab loop group video, keep it right here. What's up everyone, this is Priya here. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning. And if this is the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Here I share tips, ideas and inspiration to make your planner and journal spreads pretty and functional. So this was the last setup we did and the theme was planners. And it was a fun project. And this is my creative journal, if you did not know. And this again is part of the YouTube collab loop group. And today the theme is dogs. So we'll see how we interpret the theme. I wanted to do a summary dog days of summer kind of spread. But again, since we did something for the beach and for the summertime, I just did not want to repeat something similar. So, if you like to watch such creative ideas and things you can try in your own journals or planners, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notification so that way you can be sure you do not miss out on any of the videos coming. So, this is my Esquire journal, and I will touch a bit on the YouTube collab loop group and how it works a bit later. But before all of that, we will get started, and I will give the loudest shout out to Lisa Marie. Creatively, Lisa Marie is her handle on all social media platforms, and she's the lady behind all the YouTube collab loop groups that you see. So I'm counting the number of pages that we will need, and I have some washi tapes and more. Live, Love, Posh, Planny Thing, all the usual shops I get washi tapes from. And I'm first picking the dogs. And we have these two sticker books, one from Happy Planner and the other from Amber Plans a Day. And I have quite a few of the seasonal sticker books also pulled out along with my tools. So we will get started, and it turned out to be a bit more of an elaborate project than what I had initially planned on doing. So this will be like a seasonal transition kind of spread. So I will be using the summer on the left side, with of course Dutch doors happening, and this time it's a bit more of a project. And on the right, we'll have the fall. So we need about roughly 4 or 5 pages on either side. So I'm just counting the number to make sure I have an even number. So that's where we are. And we have all these sticker books from Live, Love, Posh and Planning Thing. When I last checked, most of it was still available in stock. So my code Priya10 can earn you 10% off when you shop Live, Love, Posh, Planny Thing, and that journal, the square journal, is from Arch and Olive. So all of these places, and that washi cutter is from Live, Love, Posh as well. So I'll have all that information down in the description if you want to check out any of those shops. I would really appreciate your support, and it does earn me a small cut at absolutely no cost to you. So that is a great way of supporting me or any other content creator that you love to support. So it does help me earn a bit of a cut, and that helps us get more products and more income so that we can share more products and creative ideas using those products with all of you. So, having talked about that, I will tell a bit about what I'm hoping to do here. So, again, we have all these different collections from the sticker books, and you may have seen separate Dutch doors being used in using all these collections, and very limited number of stickers remaining, with most of these stickers except for maybe one, which I will come and do a whole spread out of later in my catch-all. So as I'm batch filming this before I travel, this is way too early in the season, so I'm in the peak of summer while all this filming is happening. So I'm just trying to make sure I can make use of whatever is left in the sticker book. And yes, sometimes the stickers just refuse to come off the page. And that is our first Dutch door. I know it kind of looks very straight edged in some parts, but don't worry, we will have all that sorted as we get the layers built. And I'm using the latest release goodies, the fall release ones from Live Love Posh again, and I will be using this for the fall side of the spread. And as you can see, these are really bright, cheerful colors. And yeah, let's just do something similar. So it's going to be like a lot of layers. If you saw the initial picture I shared, that was the final product we ended up with. So it does get really, at a glance, it looks really busy, but you will see how it unfolds as you keep turning the pages. So that is our sticker journaling kit, which is a fairly new product that Live Love Posh had introduced, and it sure looks like a hit, even with the Floralia Faith one that had come out earlier in the year. And that sold out, it restocked, and it was sold out again. And when I last checked, there were a few more books in stock. So as you can see, there are lots of these interesting elements that you can use. And I do have a separate actual journaling kind of setup using all these scraps and these smaller elements. And I even made some pocket cards. So all of those can be quite helpful when you think of using all these different elements you have in the sticker sheet. So that is our lanterns hanging right there. And I just did not want it to be hanging out of nowhere. So that is why I thought maybe having those lanterns hang from those leaves garland made sense. So that is our first page, maybe something a bit smaller. Yeah, that makes sense. So we need something for that gap. And I think, yeah, that completes it. Yeah, it's transparent. So it's a clear matte sticker. And so it does look weird when it actually can see the elements behind there. So those are our leaves, and let's do some sticker surgery there. And yeah, I think that completes it. And now we can go ahead and make the Dutch doors. So I'm using my gyro cut and the self-healing cutting mat, which goes underneath there so that we can cut through the pages. Just one sheet is all that it cuts through because the mat is underneath, protecting the rest of the pages. So you may have seen me do this process all the time. So let's get back to our YouTube collab loop group and how it works. So it is a whole bunch of growing YouTubers who come together with a common theme. And Lisa Marie, as I mentioned earlier, is the lady behind all of these. And she gives us all a theme. And I believe she has a loop group running every week. And I'm part of 2 of the 4 or 5 loop groups that happen every month. And it's a very simple, straightforward process. If you start with my video or anybody else's, if you are joining me through any other channel, please accept my warm welcome. And I do have lots of folks who joined me through other channels and who are regular viewers of my channel, and they shower so much love. So I really appreciate every single one of you who stop by. And once you start with my video or somebody else's, the next person in the loop will be linked below along with the video you can watch using the same theme. It totally depends on how they feel like interpreting the theme. So just continue on with the loop, and the next person will be linked in their description, and so on and so forth. So once you get back to wherever you started with, you will have completed the loop. And in an ideal world, you would have subscribed to all our channels and you left us all at least a comment, something positive, something nice about what our video was about. And that truly helps with some encouragement, getting to know lots of new folks, and everything is just a part of being an amazing community. So that is all there is to it. And I have lots of folks, as I mentioned, who continuously watch my videos and leave me the sweetest words that I have ever gotten. And my YouTube family is growing, and I truly, truly appreciate every single one of you who are part of my YouTube family. And these YouTube collab loop groups have been a huge part of the growth I've had, and it truly helps out with the algorithm and all those figures and all the struggles we have to go through to make sure that we are being seen. It's a very competitive world out there. So as you can see, this is just a decorative page, and both the sides it will be just stickered up, which I don't mind because these were just meant to be like a decorative full on summer page. Tropical florals and waterfalls and tropical forests and all those gorgeous scenes that you find in the nature. So you see, with the limited space we have, there is I tried my best to kind of fit all those elements in, but sometimes you do have to turn them in different orientations to make it work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it just doesn't. So it's just a matter of trying it out and seeing what works and what doesn't. So that is our first page. So let's just yeah, some of it will be layered, that's fine. So there goes our first layer, and it did take me a bit more time than usual. And usually these creative journal spreads are really, really busy. And I'm not sure if my creative journal flip through from 2024 is up yet, because as I mentioned, I was just batch filming it, and I filmed it way back in June, and I'm not sure when you will be seeing this, but everything is being scheduled and ready to go. So let me know how your summer or fall is going whenever you're watching it. I doubt you're watching it in summer, but yeah, unless fall is officially here, you are still in summer, even if the temperatures may not look quite like summer where you are at, because I have friends from all over the globe. So sometimes, if you're in the southern hemisphere, you do have the season just the opposite, as in you might be looking at spring and summer, and yeah, you might just be getting all ready for warmer temperatures. So I'm just doing it like a seasonal transition. And our theme today again is dogs. So you must be thinking we don't really see any dogs as yet, which is true. But I promise the dogs are coming. And I wanted a seasonal change of scenes because I think that no matter what the season outside is, dogs just love the outdoors, staying outside, running around. And so that is why I thought I will have a summer and a fall change of scenes, and then the dogs can just enjoy the outdoors once it's all set up and ready to go. So that is why the dogs have not appeared yet. And as somebody who does not have any cats or dogs, fish are the pets I have. So I don't have very much to say about the dogs, but I think that any season they truly enjoy walking outside and being outside. So that's why I thought a proper change of seasons one would look best. So let me know if you have dogs or a dog, one or multiple, and what breed it is, and what your favorite thing about the dogs are. I know it's a very what do I say? It is a very sensitive thing when something happens to it's I can understand because dogs do become like part of your family, and it the bond just gets stronger as time flies. And I have seen many of my cousins who are really badly affected once their dogs expire, and it sometimes they have to be laid to rest. So it's not easy on anybody who goes through that. And I'm sorry if you have gone through any of that in the past. And you can see me switch to a neutral color palette here, just for some nice contrast in the colors. And I'm using these stickers to kind of create another level of the Dutch door, and you will see how it all comes together at the end. And I'm doing some sticker surgery now to make sure that those bows can be laid down where some white space is to be filled. So that is our next layer, and we have, yeah, so that's a nice layer with such pretty florals. I think it really makes everything else in the front page also pop quite a bit. So I think, yeah, that looks really nice. I wasn't sure how this would turn out, but I think I liked how the end result is, and it did. Again, I wasn't sure, and I was like very hesitant in between, even in the middle of the process. So even here, I had to stop, take a break, and maybe come back a day or two earlier because I was just, this is again during a busy stretch of my life. So I'm just trying to make sure I get to this, but then I just don't want to spend hours interrupting the rest of the things I had to do. So this was in the middle of a bunch of breaks, I must say. And that is the gyro cut that I'm using. And I almost cut to that part when I realized those mugs also had to be included. So just coming back and fixing that small mistake, small error that almost happened, but not quite. We can fix those accidents. So that's our next Dutch door getting ready to be revealed. So using my scissors, and that small scissors and the paper clip you see are both from Journal Say, and my code Priya can earn you 8% off at Journal Say, and that is, it's a fairly inexpensive shop if you ask me. Lots of stationery that comes, but it's been a while since I have picked something up because I had a lot in my stash and I'm really being mindful of what I buy these days. And if you see my craft room tour, which will most likely be out by the time you see this video, you will see how much stuff I have. And please, that's a no judgment zone. If you haven't checked out that video, please do. And if it is not, it should be coming soon. And this is the next layer. And now let's see what else. Yeah, let's just finish off the back page. And we should be looking at least two more pages in the at least one more Dutch door and then the first and the last page. So remember that we have to do the same similar look in the left side also for the summer. And fall should be fast approaching. By the time you see this, we should officially be in fall, I assume, because this is meant to go up in the last week of August. And no, September is when fall officially starts. So we should have a few more weeks in summer. So that is our next Dutch door. And these are just, I'm just trying to keep it as symmetrical as possible so that not much thinking is involved. And as you can see, I have not used that sticker book much. That sticker book just released. And this is going to be, again, I'm trying to pick the same items, similar items on the second page of the sticker box. With these shapes, I think it's easy because it's pretty straightforward to match the shapes. And that is our second Dutch door. You might think this is the third Dutch door, but one of the pages belongs to the summer side. And let me know how you are liking this. So this is, I'm coming back after over a day. And I think, yeah, I'm just counting to make sure I have the right number. Again, I'm coming back after almost 2 days. It was just lying open on my table. Yeah, just double checking and triple checking to make sure I don't end up using the wrong page. So we have, I think that girl should go next. If I can put it back to exactly where it is. Otherwise, I can always come and take out the backing, which is very much doable. Yeah, that girl I think is just perfect for that space we have. And we have all these cozy elements. So you see what I'm trying to do here. So I'm just trying to do some layering action and some color combination, just trying to see what can look better against each other. And that will be our, yeah, so that will be our next layer. That is going to be, yeah, that looks really pretty. It's just building those layers, you see. So let me know if you like summer or fall better, because everybody is different and everybody will have their own reasons to like what they like. So it is, I like to hear why everybody, because everyone is different, and I like to hear why the season they love the most is their favorite. So between all these elements, between the different sized florals and clusters and all that, we have a good mix because there are 4 pages in this collection. And I think that's a good way of, yeah, combining everything. And I think it does come together really well. So that will be, I believe, the last Dutch door, and we will come and finish off the last page. And do you like to do seasonal transition spreads, or is it just me who enjoys it? I mean, I used to do it in the planners, which is so less elaborate. And this is our next Dutch door again, almost done. And you must be thinking that there is not much space to write, but once you turn the page, you will see that is not the case because you already have all these elements going on. And then you have all the white space in the middle. And as the elements get added to the edge of the page, the space in the middle already is getting increased. So that's a nice way of using up that white space, that entire page almost, especially towards the last page we are working on, you see. So you'll have practically the whole page to write. You're just decorating just around the edges. And let me know if you have picked up any of the sticker books that you see, or if you have picked up stickers from any other shop. I know there are lots of small businesses who have their releases. And I'm trying to now see which other collections we can pull from. And it is going to be, yeah, this set is really, yeah, that's a nice, yeah, just did not want to come off the sticker book. So just trying to make sure that I lay it flat. And yeah, that should help. If I can have that down straight, which I think I did. And that is our last page. So I think those oranges and yellows were needed, especially since our very first page on the Dutch doors had those bright colors. And so now we'll come and add a bit of these mushrooms and these hedgehogs and some of those cuter elements like those lanterns. Yeah, so that lantern I think fits perfectly there, and the hedgehog and the mushrooms can sit really comfortable in the space. It's just a matter of decorating along the edges, and it does make everything look fairly pulled together because there are so many of these interesting colors. I was really not wanting to use this collection in here because this, even though these neutral softer colors are not my kind of vibe, I still love these illustrations because of the cuteness in them. When you look closer, you will see that there are these sparkly little elements that are in this collection, this particular collection. And we also have some of the clusters which are really cute. And yeah, moving them aside again. So we have that hedgehog already part of that cluster. And yeah, I think that fits there too. And Yeah, just finishing off some of that top part also. And it does look nice when you can combine all these elements and just keep adding the layers. It might look as if one full page of just decorations, but when you turn the page, you do see what it is in reality. So you see, so that will be our next couple of elements for that page. So just trying to see if we can use anything else from any of the other collections, but I don't think that's needed. So just using some of that white space to use some of the elements, and we have that's me coming back after another break. So that is our next side. We'll just get started on the summer side. And now, since we have this bright color already laid down, we will start with something softer. I'm just trying to see what is left. So we have this collection, which again is remaining from one of the small Dutch doors that I did. And yeah, I don't know if I should, because I think it's just too wide, especially for the very first Dutch door after that, because I want the Dutch doors to be kind of evened out on either side, even though the colors are not quite balanced. So I think we'll go with this collection, which is untouched, and we have this girl. And we definitely have the girl on the top, which can be used for the symmetrical side. And I think she will go really well here. So she can just hang out there. And yeah, let's just stick to this collection. And yeah, these are, again, I wanted something softer for the page underneath because the front page has lots of these bright elements. And we will have, yeah, all these beachy elements. So it can be to the beach or it can be to a tropical beach, even a waterfall can be close by. It can be any of those scenes. So let's just see. Yeah, that will also work. Maybe move it up a tad bit to see how we can layer it. Yeah, I think that's better. Just sometimes changing the orientation is all you will need to get it right. So that's our next layer. Because mind you, we have another full Dutch door to go before we get to the last page. So I don't want it to be taking up all that space now. So yeah, we'll have those birds. And there are all these tropical summery elements that we can definitely use. And we will have it close to the birds. Again, of course, the birds are supposed to be sitting on the tree branches, right? So that is the reason why I thought that having it layered that way might make more sense. And yeah, all the girls' accessories are there, scattered amongst all these flowers. So that is our next one. And yeah, of course, we can have some bananas too. And let me know if you have used this collection, if you have the sticker book. And that is, again, some of these softer colors. There are a couple of good soft colors in the sticker book, and there was a beach camping one, which was again more like the pastel colors. And one of my Dutch doors, which I had done, that video should be on my channel. I had filmed it way back when the sticker book came out, and I was surprised that I used that particular one first. So, this is our next Dutch door, I believe. So, just trying to make sure I have the page marked. So, onto the gyro cut and the cutting mat again. It's the same process after every step. So, now we have the next layer of our Dutch door. And that is going to be, yeah, this is really one of the easiest tasks, the cutting, because it is a really fun way of cutting around without any hassle. And I really love when that gets to be a really easy job. So once the pressure, you get the hang of the pressure, and sometimes it does take a bit more time, but most of the time you are good with just one cut. And sometimes the blade just slides onto the sticker, so that's the reason it takes a bit longer. And it is going to be, yeah, so fun, because this is our next layer, and that is the next Dutch door, which I know it's a whole mix of colors. So I'm just trying to, now I just put the Fisker ceramic knife just there so that we can locate the page easily. That was all. And I'm trying to keep it as symmetrical as possible. And again, if you know me, you know how I love birds, how much I love birds, in fact. So I like to kind of make sure that I can bring in birds whenever I can. And this is, yeah, such a fun theme. And it was such a fun idea that I decided to try this combination, like a seasonal transition. And the dogs, no matter what, really love to kind of hang out, be it any season. So I think that it does make a lot of sense interpreting it this way. And it is really interesting to see how everybody interprets, or how everyone comes up with their own version of the same theme. And it is really nice that it is such a creative community. And we have so many different planners and different brands that you get to see. And some might even, I'm not sure because I have no idea what the others are doing. So it is always nice to see how they think makes sense for the theme. So we might even get to see some of the dogs that other people have. So this is again my creative journal. So I do use it to maybe practice something like lettering, and you will see all about it as I flip through my completed creative journal from 2024. And that again has been a video which has been a long time coming. It was a much requested one again. So on to the next one. So now we have, so that's where we are, and we have one more layer before we get to the final one. So this, I think, can be, or should we just go for the others? Because I don't know, because we already have a softer color. And what should we do now? Yeah, just trying to see what else is left. And now I think I will use this particular one. And we have a lot of these smaller components that we can use. And it is going to be yellows and greens. So that's why I thought maybe it will look good against all these pinks and blues. Yeah, I think that's good enough. And that is our yeah, let's just try and see what we can make use of here. So just pulling a few at a time to see what we have available to work with. Let me know if you have done something similar and what your biggest challenge was if you did. Because this is quite an advanced Dutch door, if you ask me. So it comes with its own challenges, and time is one big factor because these things do take time. And yeah, because this collection had so many of these smaller daisies and the lemons and all these smaller clusters and elements, I think it did make things a lot easier. And we have some of these butterflies, which are all also here. And yeah, I think that's good. And we will go ahead and cut around that layer. And we have the next page all done. And we still have a bit more to go, I know. This did turn out to be a slightly more longer than what I had thought. And these ones really do. I like to kind of take it slow and work along with you. And you can always have it sped up, but I thought you might actually want to see the whole process. So that's why I'm just keeping it as close to the actual time it took me as possible. So that is why I decided to not speed it up. And this is going to be another, yeah, I think that did come out fairly easily. And that is, yeah, that's pretty much done. Yeah, that was easy. And we will try and do something different for the last page because I just do not want the same look on either side. So now we have one last page for the summer side, and then we can have some decorations if needed, or else you can just leave it as such and bring in the dogs. And yeah, we will have the back side of the page to fill in now. So we'll just use the same stickers, the same collection. And it is, again, we do have lots more of these smaller elements. And yeah, some of it is exactly the same, but some of the shapes are different. And this is, yeah, that's really fun. And look at my hand, my palm, which is looking like a whole sticker shop. Yeah, let's try and match the shapes to the stickers. And that's exactly what's going on. You must have had one of those games while in kindergarten, match the shapes to the images, the pictures you see. Yeah, this is a fun game you can play. And that's our next Dutch door. And I think, yeah, those are really some of the, yeah. And what else? We need to get more because we did run out of stickers and we still have a few more white spaces to fill. Yeah, it is. It is really a fun color combination. We're just turning things around, and sometimes changing the orientation is all you need to make sure it fits in the space we have. Yeah, I think that is pretty much it. And that's the next Dutch door all completed. So now we have the last page, and we have this collection, which I really want to bring in, which is untouched. And we have, yeah, I want to use these fun colors, and we do have those three. And they are all from Live Love Posh. And I think I will go ahead and do the borders with them. And I think putting the colors in this order, or we should have taken the brighter one, should we? I think it's fine, right? Or yeah, I think even some purple will be good. Let's use the green right next to that. Yeah, all the washi tapes are in the shop when I last checked. And I'm just trying to line it up so that I can cut them all together at the end, leaving a tad bit of space in between there. And that's the next one. So I'm just roughly cutting off the washi tapes. And I will come and do the proper corners a bit later. Sometimes it just does not want to obey. So yeah, just why don't we just cut it right away so that we can have that part all done. And for the side, so this one was a distress oxides tutorial, and that was so fun. Really love how it turned out. So this we have the, yeah, just trying to take off the tapes from my fingertips. So that is our background or the base for these elements, and this is how much space we have. So let's now fill some of the back background space we have, and that will be a good mix of all the different elements that you can find on a beach, like a tiki bar, the house, the beach house, and the lounge chair. All of those can be found. So we have the, yeah, just there was a small bubble in there, so we did take care of that. So we have, yeah, I think that's where it should go. And we have the fountain, which can stay further up. And we all have all these different elements that we can make clusters out of. And this is going to be really, it's a very fun and bright color palette. So if you have been to any of the beach houses, or if you have stayed in any such resorts, you will know what I'm talking about. And it's a whole new world out there when you're out there in any such places. And you will have all sorts of these beach and pool accessories floating by. And once we did stay in Zanzibar, and we did stay at a beachfront property. And it was interesting because we had, at dinner time once, we were sitting on the beach, and we were like asked to, we were told before we sat down that the high tide is expected to be in the middle of the dinner time. So, and they were expecting the waves to cover the area where we sat at that point. So they were like asking us whether we would like to move right before we started so that we don't have to move midway, or just wait and see until where the water rushes in and then decide and then move. So we thought that would be a fun thing. So we ended up having to move twice because, yeah, the tide brought the water much higher than what they had anticipated. But it was close, and they kept telling us that, this is the water will come all the way up to here. And we were like, yeah, no, that's not happening. They're just exaggerating. But then we realized, yeah, they are seeing the whole thing over and over again throughout the year. So we were just a bit naive at that point to understand how exactly that works. And we were like, we just couldn't believe when they told us that the tide would come in so far into the resort, and it almost reached our rooms. But it was built kind of into the land enough to secure that clean beach space, and make sure that it does not wash off the hotel rooms. But you know what I mean, it is, you wouldn't think it would come that far inland, but it does. So if you have been to any of the similar places, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that is my small experience traveling and staying in one of those beach hut, beachfront properties. And it was a good time too. So, one more fun fact about Zanzibar, I can tell you the egg yolks that you get. Obviously, when you have breakfast, you have eggs if you decide to. So, you do have the egg yolks, which are white in color. And do you know why that is the case? Have you heard that? Is it the first time that you're hearing that fun fact about Zanzibar? And that's because of the feed they are given. Think they're fed corn, and corn is the diet that is responsible for white egg yolks, and it looks kind of, yeah, it does look like an alien egg because you have the white egg yolk, and most eggs have double yolks. Like, are you familiar with those jumbo eggs that sometimes you get in this country where I currently live in? We do have the jumbo eggs that you can buy separately for extra protein or whatever, extra protein or extra, those double yolks are what you get. So those are called jumbo eggs. So with Zanzibar, I found that a bit weird. I'd heard about it, but then unless we got that as part of our breakfast, I did not remember that was the case. And when I saw it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the country where that happens. So have you heard that? Have you come across that? Have you had any other fun facts that you had heard and you actually saw that in action when you traveled? I'm just curious to know because there are so many such countries where such fun facts do exist and you do observe things as you go. So I'm just curious. So this is our last setup with our Dutch doors, and yeah, this is, again, I'm just trying to fill in using the shapes for the white space we have. And that is our set of Dutch doors, I think, practically done. So now we will have the dogs come in. And I think I will use, yeah, I think with these stickers we have going on, I think the happy illustrations doggies look more apt for the scene we have going on. So we have this sausage dog, and we have these, I'm sorry, I don't know the names of the breeds. The sausage dog, I know. And if you have seen the Toy Story, you know there was a sausage dog called Slinky in there. So that's kind of where my knowledge about the breeds are. And I'm really sorry if I don't mean to offend you. I'm not someone who has dogs for pets, so my knowledge is very, very limited. All I know is that dogs enjoy long walks. Because planning with Bumble, Mary Ellen, I'm sure you know Mary Ellen. She talks about Bumble, which is her dog, and she talks about how Bumble never gets tired even after long walks, multiple times a day. So I just assumed that the dogs are really excited to go for a walk any time of the day. So I'm just throwing in the paw prints a bit here and there. And then my Happy Planner affiliate link is in the description if you are curious on picking up anything from Happy Planner. And let's throw in some of those doggy bones as well. And yeah, I'm not sure if the doggy bones come in all these colors, but yeah, since we have them in our sticker book, we will use them. And now we have the white space that we have to fill in. And we also have some more dogs that we will need. So we have all these boxes from all these different sticker books from Planything. And I think for the summer boxes, we will use some of these summer sticker books and also the reading through the seasons, which was from the one of the subscription boxes from the recent past. So we have all these boxes, and we will also come and add a couple of these summary beach elements, and we have some of these boxes which are just refusing to come out. Sometimes that's what happens, right? Yeah, let's just use some of those boxes, and we will yeah, this looks better. I think they go well with what we have. Yeah. Some of these girls can also hang out here. Yeah, just there. And these are, again, really fun elements that you can bring in. And I have this PT sticker from Wrong Wrong, which I will also use after we have put down these boxes. And this is, again, one of the functional books from Planything. So please find all the videos I'm mentioning, including all the YouTube themes I've done so far, linked below. And the full playlist is available for you to check out all the different themes I have done over the past year and a half almost. And we have all the shops and codes and links all given below if you want to check out any of those. So we will have a couple of these clusters made, and we will also have some books which you can, in fact, pair with other elements. And for this one, I'm picking the summer section, and we have some books also which you can use or take to the beach. And for this side, we have another bag which can be brought in here. Maybe not, we already have a bag there. And I'm just trying to pick something a bit smaller. Yeah, that goes well. And onto the fall side now. So again, we will see what elements we can bring in. And of course, we have this pile of books with the doggy on there. The puppy is just resting on top of that. And we have some of these fall themed, book themed ones. And this is such a cozy little reading corner that the sticker book has. And it really does pull everything together. And we do have that basket full of books and all these cute elements, cozy fall elements that we can use. And it can sit right there next to the girl. And I need something smaller, nothing that big. Yeah, so that I think will go with what we have. And now it is time for some more clusters, a couple more. And I'm trying to keep it as close to our theme as possible so that we will not have too many clashing colors. And we are almost done. We'll have a couple more of those leaves. And you see how it can all come together. And just a few leaves here and there. And the Planything functional sticker books are always nice and thick. So it does have a good structure. So even if you move it around a bit, it's pretty forgiving. So that is our next cluster, and we should pretty much be done with it. And we can have something to sit there to complete that. Yeah, yeah, that's better. So that is our next cluster and next layer, and we should be done. Yeah, I think, yes. That does look nice. I really love those smaller stickers, which make for great scenes. And now let's get to this PT sticker from Wrong Wrong, which together, it was a collab between Michelle Plan on it and Wrong Wrong. So it was a nice, fun PT tape. I think she had a sticker book also, a dog themed one. So we have all these doggies, which I almost forgot to pull out. So we will have all these doggies and dog bones. We will take a few and sprinkle them in because they can just hang out in between all these pages and they can just have fun amongst all these changing seasons. And some of it is really, yeah, this page already has like that puppy on the book stack. Just throwing in those doggy bones. And if you're new to Wrong Wrong, if you've not shopped from Wrong Wrong before, there is an affiliate link. If you want to shop, you do get a 10% or 15% discount. So that is also linked below if you want to check that out. And that is the summer part of the setup. So please come follow me on Instagram. I do share more spreads and more sneaks, even if they don't quite get YouTube videos. And the next person's video in the loop group is linked below. So please continue with the loop and please get back to wherever you started with. And please subscribe to all our channels and drop us all a sweet message of encouragement. We would all really appreciate that. And it truly helps us all with the growth of our channels and lets our content out to more folks out there. And please don't hesitate to share my video with anybody who you think will benefit from this. And it is another fun theme. The theme again is dogs. And I hope you liked this whole setup. Please let me know how you like it. And thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Bye.